Hi, my name's Judy. Welcome to my channel. And before we get started on anything, if you'd hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it, and that little notification bell. Today I'm going to be talking about what we bring with us when we come into this life. And I'm not going to be specific because I really don't know what you brought. I've only brought what I brought, and I don't even know what all that is. But generally speaking, when we are coming back into a life, there's been a decision made either by us or with us to come into a certain life in a certain way for a certain reason. And of course, as you've probably heard me say so many times at this point, it's really all about learning what love is. So what do we bring with us? Well, I can only go with, again, general information, but imagine that, I'll use myself as an example. So in this life, my name is Judy. And in this life, I have a twin sister. And in this life, I have 3 children and 7 grandchildren. In this life, I have had a lot of money issues. Some of them have turned out to have really sad, I want to say endings. I don't know whether money issues actually end, but you know what I mean. It hasn't been pleasant sometimes. I've been fortunate enough to have fairly good health. I'm 67. I don't feel what I thought 67 would feel like. My mother had Alzheimer's. My mother also had a lot of insecurities, and she wasn't a very good mother sometimes. I had a stepfather. He died of cancer. And he was a good soul, made some mistakes in his life, did some kind of weird things that I wouldn't even, wouldn't want to tell anybody about. But in the long run, he was a good guy. I've been married to my husband for really 41 years, and I've known him for 50, a little more than 50. As you know, I teach childbirth education, but I also still work at a bank. I have a couple jobs. I had a license for life insurance. I decided to let that drop. It was just not working for me. And I started a website, livelaughpush.com, where I teach childbirth classes virtually. And I also have little mini classes there. If anybody's pregnant, maybe you want to go over there. A lot of really good stuff over there. And really, people tell me my prices are cheap, and they are. I could use the money, obviously, but it's more about making sure people feel confident. As you know, I'm very interested in spiritual matters, of course in childbirth, and music. Right now, my favorite band is Queen. I've always loved the Beatles. Had a real good time with John Denver, Barry Manilow. But honestly, I like all kinds of music, all kinds. I even like KRS-One. In case you don't know who that is, it's a rapper, one of the early rappers, a real rapper. So that's what I'm going to bring into my next life. But imagine every life I've ever been. Not just the details, that was sort of an example, but there's been a lot of things that have happened to me in my life, a lot of things I have done, a lot of relationships I've had, and all of that is stored in my causal memory, along with all the memories from every other life I've had. And honestly, I can remember bits and pieces of, I want to say at least 20 lives. Never really counted them, but some of them, all I saw was the way I died. That's all I saw. Other ones I have some more detail on. There was tragedy. There was guilt. I killed myself at least 3 times. Probably more than that. I just remember 3. Never do that again. What a waste. Keep coming back to figure out that it's not a good idea. I have a lot of memories, probably more than some people think they have, but there's so many details that go on in a person's life. Man, woman, child, whatever. A lot of things happen to you in your life. a lot of relationships, like I say, a lot of jobs, a lot of interests, everything. And you bring all of that with you in your causal memory. Now, if you watch the video that talked about the planes of existence, I'm talking about memory. Causal memory is your soul's memory, not Judy's memory. That's pretty limited to a certain extent, right? But once I'm out of the body, my causal memory, my soul's memory is of every single detail of every single life I've ever lived. Everything I ever did, everything I ever said. Now, when I say I bring that with me, I do, and it affects who I am right now, how I act, what I think, sometimes what I react to. But I don't remember all those details. Imagine how difficult it would be to live in a life where you remembered like 200,000 lives detailed. I don't know whether I've lived 200,000 times, but I might have. There certainly is that possibility. And how could I, oh my gosh, your mind would be swimming. You know, you'd never be able to sleep. But those things that you bring with you and filter through as personality or temperament are there because those particular bits and pieces of your memory are the things you need to make new memories in this life. Always directing yourself toward that goal of fate, destiny, Attic karma, whatever you want to call it, the purpose you came here to start with. So you have the tools available to you to do whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. Whether you make the choice to actually use them or not, whether you're open to the idea of actually using them or not, that's what makes or break our experience, right? And if we don't do what we needed to do, we don't, because we have so many choices. The choices are ours, how we get to where we're going, even though we don't know where we're going. So it does sound a little complicated, but in reality, our soul knows where it's going. It's always whispering in our ear, that subconscious voice you hear. It's always trying to tell us what to do to make the right choice. We don't always listen. Yeah, that's how it is. What can I say? But what we bring with us is everything we've ever been. And what we will take with us is everything we've ever been and who we were this time. It's actually kind of exciting when you think about it, because there's never a goodbye. There's never a real loss. Even though as a human I will have to feel grief. It's an important thing to know. There's not really sadness where we meet in between. So let me know what you think about that. Let me know what you think about what I said, if it makes sense to you or if it sounds cuckoo. I know I sound cuckoo most of the time. You know, and I don't expect anybody to think I know what I'm talking about either. Why would I? Why does she know what she's talking about? I'm just sharing my personal beliefs, my personal thoughts in the way that I have learned them over the past however many years. So, thank you for listening, and I hope you'll come back for another video. Talk to you later.